Hey, it's Natasha.
And Khalil.
And we are the co-hosts of
WokeNFree.
Thank you for tuning in to our 130th episode of WokeNFree. If you've been tuning in every week for WokeNFree Wednesday, you know that WokeNFree is all about being real and honest with each other and you. We talk about everything and anything important to us, you, the world, and nothing is off the table. This week, we are talking about something that is literally talked about every single week, which is who's going to win the 2020 presidential election.
U.S.
Yes, the U.S. presidential election. Good point indeed. But before we dive deep into that rabbit hole of a conversation, there's a special moment that we all enjoy every single week. This is what I like to call Tasha's monologue. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Let's
Finally.
get it started. Exactly. So if you have downloaded the episode on the Podbean app, and that's how you're listening to us right this minute, bravo, you are a rock star. We not only appreciate the love and support, but we also welcome you to join the conversation by adding your comments. You can only add your comments if you have downloaded the Podbean app. So please do that ASAP if you aren't already doing that. If you're like not about it and you don't, for the life of you, will not download the app, all that we ask is that if whatever platform you're catching this on, whether it's iTunes or TuneIn or Stitcher or Google Play, YouTube, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify, any of the platforms we're on, just make sure you're subscribed and following the podcast on those platforms because that is how we continue to grow the show. And we want you to be a part of the conversation in that way as well. Of course, when it comes to sharing the episode, we really encourage for you to get the word out to your friends, to your family, to your coworkers, to literal strangers on the street, guys. WokeNFree, spread the word. We need you to do this, and we appreciate you every single time you do it. Of course, when it comes to social media, you can always find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Pinterest at WokeNFree. And then if you have like 90 seconds, guys, we would love for you to spend those 90 seconds reviewing the show. Give us your stars, 5 stars. Give us your stars, 5 stars. On the platforms that you are listening to us on. For instance, we love the iTunes reviews. We'd love to hear your thoughts and your reviews on any of the other platforms you're catching us. So, of course, you can go to WokeNFree.com, the Listen tab. We'll show you all the places we're at, and that's where you can go and review the show.
That's fabulous. Mm-hmm. Each week, we like to share a little bit about us before we dive into the topic for the episode. Last week, we shared, would you rather get a tattoo of a cartoon character or a tattoo of a celebrity you like? Or a tattoo of the face of the celebrity you like? Mm-hmm. This week, we're asking, would you rather eat ice cream every day for a year or go without ice cream for 2 years?
Gosh, well, your girl loves sugar, which is not so great. To say no ice cream for 2 years, that's a little extreme. I think I'm going to have to take the L on this and just do it for a year every day then.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
It's not something I'm proud of. How about you?
Now, I like this question because it doesn't say how much ice cream, so I could actually do the ice cream every day.
Exactly.
I just limit myself to half a scoop.
Exactly.
If you
just
do.
Not a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you could do it. That's the way I would do it because then it won't be as bad. To go without it for 2 years, I could do that, but I wouldn't want to miss out on a new flavor if they invent it.
Exactly.
That's the only problem because that's what would happen for the 2 years.
Yeah, that's just too extreme. I don't know. I think there are other things, other vices one can give up. You know, if you said no drinking for 2 years, that might be tough, but I think no ice cream for 2 years is actually a harder struggle, definitely. Personally. But with that, I think it's time to get this party started.
Ready?
Yes.
But I guess I should ask the tough question. Who is actually winning the 2020 U.S. presidential election?
Super easy. President Trump.
Wow, is that your prediction?
Yes, 100%. 100%. If he did not win again and have the next 4 years as president, I would be deeply shocked because of the events that have happened, right? From the Mueller report and it not really amounting to anything to essentially the impeachment, it not amounting to anything. This man is like Teflon. He is Teflon Don, and he's going to be president for another 4 years. That's where I stand on that. But I welcome the opportunity to be surprised. Sadly, I don't think I will be.
So you think he has a good chance of winning then?
Yes, I think people in this country, regardless of the effect on our personal taxes, regardless on the effect on our climate, regardless of the effect on our economy, somehow, some way see that he is their homie, and they're riding strong with their homie.
Yeah, I think he's got a lot of support. So. And if you're not supporting him, you're against him. And it seems like if you're against him, you get taken down. So
yes.
Seems like people are in fear too.
Yes.
There's a lot of people that are they're in fear, so they're not voicing their true opinions. I think a lot of that's going on.
Yes.
But I actually agree with you that he most likely would win. I even found some information by Politico saying that he could lose 36 electoral votes from his 2016 victory, and he still would win re-election.
Ooh,
so that
nice.
means even if people turned over and decided not to vote for him, he still could win. Like they've got to win a lot more electoral votes to actually for the Dems to win. So
well, that brings up a big point too, which is everyone is so focused on the popular vote, that everyone come out and vote and vote and vote. And even if he didn't win the popular vote last time. No. And that's not who wins the election. It's the Electoral College who votes him in. And
only those vote counts. Which is kind of messed up.
Why exactly would they not vote him in this time? It's
well, because they're supposed to vote with their county votes,
but they didn't do it last time.
Well, they did. Remember, it was because it's a numbers and a geographic game. So if you have electoral votes for all the popular votes that he got, that's the issue. Even though he didn't get the majority of people votes, he got the majority of the electoral votes that was actually the minority of popular votes. It's kind of messed up when you think about it. It's not spread out equally. Shouldn't it be for every person, or let's say every 7 people, there's an electoral vote? Nope, it's not like that. It's by county.
Gotcha.
So if you have a small county and has 3 popular votes and he wins all those votes, he wins the electoral vote there, which might be worth 20. So basically, sometimes 3 people are equal to 20, something like that.
Fascinating.
That's one way to think of it. So it's kind of messed up how our system is.
Like I said.
Because even if we the people don't actually want this person in office,
I don't think he's winning the popular vote for sure. I definitely
it doesn't really matter.
But I think the Electoral College is bringing him home.
Yeah, because what's gonna happen is there's enough people spread out that will give him the electoral votes he knows. I mean, he needs, but the actual majority of Americans wouldn't vote him in. I mean, he's not winning the popular vote. He lost it last time, and now he's done his 4 years, and I don't think he's actually won people over, to be honest. I think he's lost. I think he's lost more people than gained. I mean, I'm not trying to pile on him and be messed up, but I think he's lost people.
So the polls,
because there's people that, you know what I heard
really low, and then some weeks he's the highest he's ever been.
But there's some Democrats that they just didn't like Hillary and they voted for Trump because they just didn't like Hillary. But now they see what he did and they're like, man, we wish we actually did vote for Hillary. So I think there's a lot of those people too that wish that they could have changed their vote. Not that it would have helped, because I still think those were in the states that it wasn't a big deal. But I think we're actually in a state where our votes do actually really matter. Yeah. Because we're a state which it can go either way. It is possible.
Arizona.
Yeah, so, your votes, even though they don't count in the way they should, they can do something. They definitely can.
Well, despite both you and I being on the same page, remarkably so.
It's so remarkable.
Do you think, outside of our personal bias, do you think the Dems even have a chance in the election? Like whatever nominee they decide on, does that person even have a remote chance of dethroning Trump?
I mean, I think they have no chance, and that's only because they're so disjointed. They're still. Why are you guys attacking each other? They need to treat it like they're a football team versus one man. They need to do like that instead of it's all for nothing. They're not joining up. It should be all for one. We all have the same goal, right? Let's not dog each other out, because if that other person wins, now that it's kind of like they're giving the other team ammo to shoot at us. Why would you do that? Why are you giving the other team any ammo? Let's not bring up any of the bad stuff. Let's kind of just we should get it. And I think there was something about Andrew Yang. He said other people should pull an Andrew Yang and just drop out because we all need to be joining in one kind of thing.
Oh yeah, at this point,
so he even admitted
kind of
that.
Like, do you want to be right, or do you want to have like the right thing done? And it's like at the end of the day, you either want him out of the office or you want to just kind of go on with your campaign till the bitter end. And it's just like, what's the point? But obviously, none of these people have read The Art of War because the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
That seems crazy to me. And even Bloomberg, I think so far he's spent $450 million on his ad campaign against Trump. But my issue with the ads don't even go into like specific details of what he's done wrong. Like, look, he still thinks that the Central Park Five are guilty. Like, that's not even being stated. I keep bringing that up. And when Trump brings up his race, his racist stop and frisk, why can't you bring up how he felt about them? And he was talking about having them murdered innocent people and still doesn't feel that they're innocent. I think that stuff like that. Why can't we bring up like instances of, oh, look what he did here.
They're hesitant
look what he did there.
To do that because he's
Trump
has already established the idea that like everything in the media is a lie, right? The devil is a lie. So by him doing that, by him denouncing media, which was such a brilliant move, because now whenever you do disparage the president, they automatically already have that presumption that like whatever is going to be said is going to be a lie. So they think, they'll think it's actually a lie, even though Bloomberg, Trump more,
even if he uses ads to tell what he's actually done.
I mean, Bloomberg is a challenging candidate. I would not be behind him as well.
So you say not behind him?
Absolutely not. Given what
happened I say.
in New York.
I'm not behind him, but just like you said, enemy of the enemy is my friend.
Oh, well, see, the problem
like, I don't want to vote.
Is he the better than Trump, though? Like, to
the
be
lesser
honest,
of two evils?
He could be the
he could be worse,
version
right?
of him, though. Like,
he could be worse. It's possible.
I'm not quite sure. I would rather go behind.
He can make stop and frisk
the semi-anarchist Bernie.
Because what if he tries to bring stop and frisk for the whole country?
Yes, yeah.
Wouldn't that be madness? Like we thought. He's like, gotcha, guys. you thought I'm a changed man.
Hey, you thought presidents could only have 2 terms? Gotcha.
Well, yeah, he definitely would go for that.
He did that in New York. So
he's like, you know what? I'm going to increase my term because I'm such a great person.
A little bit challenging.
But the one thing you can give, at least he's been a politician before. He wasn't just a celebrity on TV.
Oh, well, yes. He actually has an actual, like...
so he has an understanding
of politics and government.
He has an understanding of law, right?
He's had successes and winnings. Do I think he wins and works on behalf of all people he represents? That is to be remained.
But he understands law too. I mean, the president I would elect. But either way, I want someone who understands U.S. law. At least understand it. Not if you agree with it, just understand it. Just to have a concept about it.
Some of the mistakes that our current president has.
Yeah, just disregard the law.
No,
I mean, he has a total disregard towards it, and a disregard towards the Constitution.
Like, am I comfortable behind that? Him being the choice? No.
And see, and you're saying that a lot of people feel like
personally
that.
Not. I'd take Bernie any day over that.
Nice,
because Bernie's like, listen, we're gonna come for you. And I like that attitude.
He's taking it to them. Yeah,
he's taking it to the streets, guys.
It's real out in the block.
These streets.
Well, on my block, it's rough.
Listen. On your block, in my streets.
Oh, okay.
Bernie is something else, guys.
He is, yeah. I mean, he has a good now. He has actually a decent chance of winning.
Yeah. I personally, but it's interesting. The parties, or at least the Democratic Party. What's problematic about it, to answer the question, is our party is so far-reaching, right? We have people who are conservative. We have people who are extremely liberal. We have people who are kind of moderate. We also have
it's an issue when you're
independent kind of like folk in the party as well.
Oh, really? Wow.
Who don't want to be independent because they don't want to be left out.
Oh, they don't want to lose the right to.
So we have a very far-reaching party, more so I think than
it's an open party, right? It's kind of like an open party. Yeah, it's not a grand old party.
Yeah, and I think that's the issue. And so you have these candidates who are extremely different, but then also similar. But yeah, I don't know if they've ever gotten together, kind of like what you're saying, and just have a consensus and be like, guys, why are we
just going to back one candidate and we're not going to talk crap about them?
Yeah,
let's not give ammo.
They should, instead of all of them campaigning like this, they should have their own little kind of vote and just decide who's going to be the candidate of the party and then go campaigning and have kind of a unified attack against their opponent, as opposed to having what did we have, 24 candidates at one point or something kind of nutty.
I know, something ridiculous. That didn't make any sense.
Couldn't y'all just had a meeting and discuss this? And like, even if that meeting lasted 3 weeks, like, it would have been better to just come in and say, okay, we're just all because then we could have pooled all our resources towards one person, and then that person would have been the front runner, no doubt, no issue, vetted.
There should have never been 24. Like, there should have, to me, they should have maxed it out. Even at 3, I would say is the max.
Oh, that's absurd. Yeah,
because then
it's like
but at least 3 would have been better than 24. Though
it was just a joke. It was like none of you are taking this serious at all. Like, and I loved Andrew Yang. It actually breaks my heart
that's
that
why
he jumped out, because I was Yang all day. Like,
this is the reason why they can't just have one candidate, because what if their one candidate was Bloomberg? It's something like that. Someone who's messed up in their past. But that's what I'm saying. The party has to come together and say, what are all the people? So everybody just gets up on a stage. Who wants to be considered? They're a better choice
and then we would all vet, like, they would have to, I know, it's hard.
They can choose better than the Dems themselves, like the people who are Dems.
I don't know.
They should have just not let 24 people like actually do it though. They should have said, they should have said
anti our system.
Not really. You can run on a different party. Like the Dems can make any rule they want. They could say, all right, we only can have 3 front runners. They could do that. That doesn't matter. They can go and do another party. Our system says anybody can be elected to be president. So me and you can be a write-in. I can write you in. You can write me in.
All right. Well, maybe we'll do that then.
We'll get 1 vote each, and we're not going to show up on any statistics, but we shall be on there. I mean, we can.
For president.
Yeah, you can be out there.
The sound of that.
Is that cool? That anybody.
Or first Madam President.
But that's what's so funny, because it's a messed up thing, because we have the Electoral College, so it's there's no chance in hell that you're going to be elected, because the Electoral College doesn't vote for anybody who's not on a party. So see, that's the problem. So even independents can't win; they have to choose a party.
Yeah, see, that's why
the Electoral College would never do that. They're not going to vote for this write-ins. Like, even if everybody wrote in, who do you like? Michael B. Jordan. What if they wrote him in? Everybody says we're just voting him in. You could say, guys, I did Creed, I did Fantastic Four, but I did Black Panther too. So I made a good comeback.
Handsome president there could be.
He said, I made a good comeback, and I'm doing some good things. Come on, I might be young, but I know how to lead this country. See how you could do that? If we all write just one person in, it'd be so funny.
Let's write and share.
Yeah, you can. You can do that. I just hope you get at least 1 million people to do it, though.
Oh, man. Well, hey, that's what WokeNFree is all about, right? Let's see what you guys think. Yeah, and
for that matter, what role do we actually play in the election this year?
To drink wine and pray a little bit, I think.
So that's actually playing a role, okay.
No, I'm kidding. No, I think one thing we definitely need to do, no matter what, I mean, even if the popular vote is not the deciding vote, we still need to be educated on our candidates, especially when you have 25,000 ready. So you need to kind of figure out a way to do your own personal vetting and decide, like, what does Bernie represent to you? What does this person represent? Like, understand what, Elizabeth Warren stands for, like what each of them are standing for. Good old Joe Biden, all, what do they all stand for? Because their platforms are different and
they're
apart from each
different,
other.
Yeah.
So I think that's important. We can't just ignore it, and we can't take the premise that news is all fake, because that is absolutely not true. Some people just might want you to think that, but that is not true. And then also you need to, vote. Definitely vote. Don't be hopeless and feel in despair and like, oh, my vote doesn't count. Just go out and vote. If you want your voice to be heard, it's the only way to do that. You just have to vote. But also what I would encourage people to do is also identify how you can maybe have an effect on your electoral college, right? So like representative, right? So if your county, whatever, if there's a way for us to persuade and or touch and or affect what our represented vote would be, then we should find a way to do that, because I think that it kind of seems absurd that
we need to talk
popular vote, and then that somehow doesn't have to be adhered to. So what's the disconnect?
We need to talk to our senators and stuff, and maybe look at repealing that. Like removing the Electoral College, that needs to be looked into, or having better relationships with our Electoral College people, because I think at the end of the day they need to be representing the wills of the people. But which they technically, they don't have to. They can do whatever they want. But that's why they shouldn't even exist. We don't need them.
I know.
Well, we had them because they, our country, there was no way to actually get everybody to vote.
Yeah.
But I think now, I know there's still some bad things going on and people aren't able to vote.
Yeah, there's definitely voter suppression is a real thing.
That still happens, but a lot of people do vote. Like, just look at the numbers. There are the numbers of people actually votes are actually there. So I think the Electoral College is like an antiquated system that needs to be shut down.
Well, yeah.
What are we paying them for? I mean, what I wonder too, do these electorates, are they like paid extra for this, or what else do they do? Or is that I don't know. I would have to look it up. I don't remember. Like, are these I don't think are they senators, or I don't think so. I think they're like, I'm not sure who they are, but why do we have them? And how do they even get there? Did we elect them? I mean,
yeah, I believe they're.
I never voted for an electoral college person.
For your state representative or whatever,
Yeah, see, I don't know if they're a representative or just a random person off the street. They're like, we're picking you, and you.
No,
I don't know.
I think it's our state representatives. But that's that might be a future episode. What does the Electoral College do? Because it's definitely not clear to you or
I don't think everybody knows.
So, hey, you listening, WokeNFree Nation, if you are clear on it.
They sit around all year and sit on a big paycheck?
Let us know. Get us WokeNFree on the topic, because that is definitely a new question now discussed in this episode.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I mean, we have to have I definitely think a better understanding of our own government is also necessary. So doing research, which is something that you and I can do as well as we get closer to this voting season. What can we do to have an impact? But I think the bare minimum activism is necessary. I think sitting back and complaining does nothing. So we definitely have to do something. Voting, connecting with our community, connecting with our representatives. But we definitely have to do. I think action is what's needed. But what are your thoughts?
I just thought about this. You probably can disagree, but what if you put a montage video of promises that were made by our current president and then the actual thing that actually happened? I don't know. It might exist already.
Hey there. Do you have a book that you want to share with the WokeNFree Nation? Are you a business owner looking to share your product or service with the podcasting world? Well, guess what? You can book an ad with us on our Contact Us page at WokeNFree.com. We're super excited to speak with you about curating a unique ad that will get your message across the WokeNFree platform. So go to the Contact Us page at WokeNFree.com. That is WokenFree.com, because WokeNFree is more than a podcast. It's a way of life and offers an innovative way to promote your platform in the exploding podcasting space.
One thing that was mentioned was Mexico.
He's over like 18,000 lives or something.
Yeah, see, is there a video where I could watch it where Mexico will pay for a wall? They will pay for it, not the Americans. And then we see we're budgeting $2 billion to go towards the wall.
I just don't think his supporters don't believe in media but
at that point there's no belief. I'm just going to use his words. We're going to say what he said in 2016. When I take his 2016 words and I look at the present day words.
Yeah.
How can that be a lie? He said that himself.
I don't know, but
isn't that the lie coming from him?
He also said that he could kill someone on Fifth Avenue and walk away with it, and I actually believe him.
But people don't mind that, because remember, he's saving some people's jobs because he's keeping the coal plants going.
But he's also, because of he's done, there's been towns that have lost jobs. So
that too, I know. See, he's hurt people, but he's actually helped people. I mean, there's a lot of things going on, but I think he's doing more harm than good, though. I think at the end of the day, the sum of him is not going to be the positive.
He is a master of media, and he is a master of making people think what he wants them to think. The right people think what he wants to think. I think the average person is somehow disillusioned. I don't know, but
not the majority of people, as you saw.
I don't think
the majority of people have not. That's what's interesting.
The right people are disillusioned. And
you're right. The people in the right places
on that bandwagon.
Disillusioned, but remember though, and some of them make sense. Like I said, it's kind of like if somebody benefits you,
going against him, yeah.
But the consequence. But I'm also saying, if somebody saves you a job, even though your job is not a good job, like the coal plants are terrible, it's not great, but we need electricity, right? And if he saves those jobs, then why would you be against him? He's saving your jobs. Like, for you to be against him, you're messed up.
Exactly.
But technically, your job does need to be shut down because it's hurting the planet. But if it gets shut down, then we're gonna have other issues. So see how it's like a little twisted thing.
Everything's going well. It's beautiful, guys. The coal plants are beautiful. It's all everything's a great job.
But
these kind of explicit, just like blanket yeses and wonderfuls.
But one thing I think most of us can agree with is He's entertaining, right?
Oh, snap. Yes.
I mean, I think he's an entertainer.
Television. I mean, really, it's like another
he's an entertainer. I'll give him that.
The Housewives. It's fascinating.
Yeah, it is. He's an entertainer. Especially the responses. Yeah, definitely.
Fascinating. Well, he didn't, The Apprentice happened for a reason, right? How many years was that show on? I mean,
but I think he's more like his role as president. He's more an entertainer than on that. And on The Apprentice, he was. You didn't see? He was more boring. I mean, he would ask.
So he learned.
Yeah, basically, he's kind of boring on there. Now he's very animated about his things that he says.
With Arnold, shout out to Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was
I know that was like, all right, guys, come on, that's not the same.
I know, but I love his accent though.
That was a huge mistake. I mean,
yeah,
it's hard though. This is off topic, but with shows in general, if you take some people that have been doing it for years and then just try to replace it with maybe somebody that people like, I mean, it doesn't work. It's kind of like that show built a formula around that specific person. So it's very hard to then just replace them and be like, the formula works. Anybody can do it. That's not quite. That doesn't go down, guys. Don't do that. And I'm looking at you, Top Gear.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they made that lovely mistake. So that's one show that did it. And I think it's that time. Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what is the scenario? It is scenario time. Scenario 1. Phineas thinks it's impossible for an impeached president to be reelected because technically the president was charged with a crime and no one would ever elect a president charged with a crime. Is his reasoning sound?
Sadly, no. Sadly, no. Because such impeached president, if that person has, again, set the presumption that everything said about him is a lie, then does everyone even believe that such president is impeached? It begs the question. And even if they are impeached, it's a witch hunt. It's a wrongful, shameful waste of money. Media and PR is everything in this world, and that such impeached president would spin it in a way to get the people behind him in the way that he needs them to be. So sadly, I do not think his reasoning is sound.
Yeah, I think the issue is you got to look at really what impeachment is, where you make up all these words to confuse people. All impeachment is charged. Mm-hmm. So if both houses don't go through and say the charge is actually real, then it doesn't matter because the president, it doesn't mean that the president actually committed a crime. It's just the charge. But if the president is removed, that means, yes, indeed, a crime was committed and they both houses agree. So that's the problem there. Impeachment on its own, it's just, it's a mark on your record. But like, even when you go to jobs, they don't say, hey, were you charged with a crime? They don't say that. They say, were you convicted? So that's one way to think about it. It's not.
But yeah, the Senate said from the beginning that they would never go against him. So that's why the House of that the Dems needed to know that it made no sense to move forward, because if the other side will never do anything, then this is a futile waste of time and effort and interruption of Young and Restless for no apparent reason. So pointless. Pointless.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
if you want to,
it was a lot of work just to have that mark on the record. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't make you guys win. It doesn't make you the winner of this year.
Look like fools, to be honest.
It's
foolish.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, they feel like it's a mini victory kind of thing because they couldn't do anything else. So that's one thing they can say against them, I guess. Scenario 2. Kieran thinks voting is hopeless because his county always votes the same way. Is it worth it for him to go and vote during the presidential election?
Yes. Even if your vote is not going to sway your county or sway the vote, at the end of the day, you have to stand behind your voice. And in our political system, the only way for your voice to be heard is to vote, regardless of the impact that vote has. So, it is better to vote and stand by your opinion and stand by your choice than to do nothing and have no chance of swaying anything. So go out and vote, go out and share your voice and stand by it. And you have to be kind of vindicated in that, because people will try to sway you like, oh, it doesn't matter. And if enough people think that, then enough people won't vote, and it's problematic.
It's like a numbers thing. If enough people don't vote, then yeah, that's why the county votes the same way, because everybody thinks it'll never change.
Yeah,
but
what if only 10 people keep voting?
Yeah, it's only 10 people voting, then yeah, that's the problem.
If everyone votes, at least everyone's voice will be heard. And whether it's a consensus or not, it is what it is. You got to get out and vote.
There's power in numbers. So
yes.
you got to think about it like that. Don't think about it just you singular. Think there's more people.
They're too responsive in life, Like, I'm only going to do what live your life, make your decision, do you. Like, stop.
Scenario 3. Victoria's family are heavy into politics and they're trying to pressure her to vote the same way as they are. Should she just give in and follow their demands? Or is it better to stand for what she believes in and deal with the backlash?
I think she should vote how she wants and she should move 2,600 miles away.
Oh, wow. Is that enough, though?
I think it is. I think, yeah, that's kind of what we did.
Don't say that.
Don't
say that.
No dealing with the crazy pressure, the crazy drama. At the end of the day, your family, like anyone else in this world, are supposed to uplift you. They're supposed to be an asset and a value in your life. And the minute they stop doing that is the minute that you have to reflect and wonder why they are in your life, why you are being bothered and not uplifted by that person. So, politics is unfortunate. I just saw something on Facebook about how this woman, I think, is divorcing her husband of 22 years because she found out he voted for Trump. Like, the world
how many years?
22 years of marriage. The world has lost their mind. If that's a true article, that's absurd.
Over one thing, I mean, that's funny.
You might be mad at him, so maybe he buys you flowers, okay? But to literally put your relationship in shambles over politics, we're losing perspective, guys.
I know what's really counts in the world,
right?
yeah.
Like, this isn't him, burning down a children's hospital, like something where you're like, this is abhorrent. Like,
let's get it together.
Literally a political stance. Like, it's not that deep. It really is not. Most things aren't that deep.
I know.
It is what it is. Like, get your life
it's a little extreme.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, her personal political stance is her personal business. Her family doesn't have to know anything about it. But if she's feeling so pressured, she needs to make two decisions. She needs to vote how she wants to vote and stand by that vote. And then also she needs to tell people to back the beep up and either be in my life and support me, or you don't need to be in my life. It is real simple. I know I'm very cutthroat when it comes to family and people like that. But it's just because I think life is too short, especially after losing people like Kobe, right? Like, it's so fragile and we are here for literally a minute. Why are you bickering and quarreling with people who, at the end of the day, they either, if they're not here for you, then they don't need to be in your life. Like, that's where I stand with that. So vote your way, boo. And Arizona is a really wonderful state to live in.
All right.
That's what I recommend to everyone.
All right. I think she needs to push back on the family and let them know, these are politics. These aren't something that's so like instrumental to who we are. You need to get over yourself. I'm gonna vote the way I want, and you can't control that. That's like a given right. So I get to make that choice. Come on now.
Word.
Yeah, she needs to just stand up for that. Like of the little things that you stand up for, like, you should be able to vote how you want. I mean, that's messed up. To feel you got to vote a certain way just because of your family. Nope. I say nope to that. So definitely stand up. She could move if she wants, or she could just stay where she's at. I don't know.
Only if she's in like a very affordable, sunny place.
Yeah, she might be in San Diego. You don't know.
Maybe it's fabulous. Yes.
And she might have the dolo, so she's okay.
Maybe
she might have lots of cash, so it's okay for her to be there.
Yeah, but people, guys, we have to stop breaking up family and friends over politics. This is ridiculous. People are entitled to believe what they want to believe. Now, if you don't want to be friends with that person for other reasons, okay, but stop literally decimating relationships over politics. Like, I think that is the most absurd thing I've ever heard. If someone told you that they were a flaming racist,
I know, that's
then fine.
Thing.
Okay, then that means that they are actively supporting a belief system that hurts others. I understand why you'd have to cut ties with someone on that, because if that's not what you're about in life, then cool. But literally, Republican or Democrat, like, you can be friends with people in different parties. You can actually, so I would, if a friend of mine told me they voted for Trump, I would be like, that sucks for the country, but what Thai food do you want for lunch? Like really, I mean, it is what it is. I don't think that's grounds for dismissal for friendship or relationships. Like, that's really bugged.
Yeah, it's extreme.
But you know what? In America, it does seem like we're losing perspective on a lot of things, and either we don't have enough struggles or we're not dealing with the struggles we have because we're just like bickering about weird stuff now. It's weird. But, you know, those are interesting shares, and you know what time it is now, guys. We are at the coming of the end of our 130th episode of WokeNFree. Ouch. Quite the episode discussing who is winning the 2020 U.S. presidential election. Will we leave you hanging for what our next episode will be about? Drum roll, please.
On our next episode, we will be doing another WokeNFree Storytime episode called The Distance. Make sure you follow us on social media to follow along the conversation, and make sure you tune in next week for WokeNFree Wednesday to join the conversation at WokeNFree.com.
If you want to be a guest on the show, submit a topic for an upcoming episode, or share how you feel on our Contact Us page at WokeNFree.com. That is WokenFree.com. If you want to holler at us on social media, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Pinterest at WokenFree. And then if you want to sponsor an upcoming episode, if you want to promote your book, your business, your services, hit us up on our Contact Us page at WokenFree.com.
If you didn't already subscribe, please do. Share the episode, and make sure you come back to join the conversation every Wednesday for WokenFree Wednesdays. Remember, WokenFree is more than a podcast, it is a way of life. Until next time.